Hi, Tony Mennillo here, founder and director of Better Than Ever. How are you living? Fearful or fearless? Choice is yours. So how are you living? Are you living your life full of fear? Are you forget everything and run? Or are you living your life fearlessly or fearless? So less fear. Fear is always going to be there, but are you going to be fearless? Are you going to face everything and rise? That's the way we really want you to live your life. And one of the things that really disappoints me with some of the people that come into our Better Than Ever family and just people that I meet on the streets is that they're not living their dream. They're not living what makes them excited to get out of bed in the morning. They just sort of go through the motions, live an ordinary life. And what I'm about is living an extraordinary life. I want everyone that I meet and everyone that I have the opportunity to train and to change to live an extraordinary life. I want you to live fearlessly, not fearful, right? We want you to be the best version of yourself. That's why we called our business Better Than Ever. And that's why we're calling the podcast Look Good, Feel Great. So how are you living? How are you getting out of bed in the morning? Are you getting out of bed feeling like, I don't want to face the world. This is too hard. There's too many expectations on me. I got to keep this person happy, that person happy. So I'm not living the life that I want to live. I'm living someone else's life. I'm living my mum and dad's life. I'm living my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my partner, my husband, my wife, whoever it is, their life. Am I trying to make other people happy instead of myself? That's a life full of fear. So what happens is because you're trying to conform to everybody else's standards, you lower your own standards. So instead of raising your standards and living fearlessly, you're living a life full of fear. So what happens is it starts to compound and manifest on itself, and it starts to weigh you down to a point where you then don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning. You don't feel like being motivated to exercise or eat healthy or do your best at work or in your career or in your relationships. And so then what happens is you start losing control of those things. And that's when things like anxiety sets in, and then eventually depression. And then in worst case scenarios, suicide. And that is the ultimate life of fear. And there are so many people that live a life full of fear. And they don't need to. They don't need to. Living fearlessly is really simple. It's really, really simple. It's about taking those small steps. So when we talk about overcoming fear, what are we really talking about? We're talking about taking small steps. So let's say your fear is heights, which is a very common fear. The first thing I can suggest to you is get a ladder and put it up against the wall. That's step one. Step two is just step up onto the first rung of the ladder and then step down. Step three is the next step, then the next step, then the next step. Every day or every week or whatever your time frame is, if you just keep taking the next step, eventually you'll get to the top of the ladder. Then you've got a choice. You can either decide to just stay there and just get used to it, or you can look down and you might say to yourself, you know what? This isn't that bad. I can get used to this. Because what happens is the brain, being fearful and being fearless, has exactly the same physiological response in your body. So when you've got the butterflies in your stomach, when you've got the sweaty palms, when you've got the racing heart, when you feel like you're telling yourself, I can't do this, this is too hard, I don't know why I've even decided to go through this. Physiologically, the response is exactly the same as when you're excited, right? So when you're excited, you go through exactly the same physiological response as when you're fearful. So when you're fearless and you know without a shadow of a doubt, you can conquer whatever's in front of you. When you know, when you're 100% sure, when you believe in yourself and you know that you can do anything and no one and nothing is ever going to stop you achieving what your goal is or what your dream is, you get the same physiological response. Your body still sweats. You still get the butterflies. You still get the nervous energy. You still get the racing heart rate. You know what I call it? Excitement, energy, power. They're powerful words. They're fearless words. They're not the words that, oh no, I can't do this. This is too hard. One of the words that I cannot stand is the word can't. I can't. It's too hard. Those statements should not exist in your vocabulary. Don't look at what you can't do. Don't look at the glass as half empty. Don't look at what you fear. Look at being fearless. Being fearless means you reduce the fear. It never goes away. It just reduces. So what you do is you become optimistic about a situation, not pessimistic. You start to look at the opportunity. You start to look at, what can I do now? What can I do? What's the first step? That's how you overcome the fear. Overcome the fear by taking the first step. I mean, like I said, I've had people, I'll give you two stories. Yesterday, I was talking to a client of mine and I said to her, look, after we've done the bench press, we're going to do chin-ups. And she said to me, no, I don't like chin-ups. I said, what do you mean? She goes, I don't like chin-ups because I'm scared I'm going to fall. You're scared you're going to fall? But I'll support you. I'll hold on to your legs. I'll make sure that you don't fall. I'll use a support. No. I can't do it. I'm scared I'm going to fall. Now, nothing I said to this person was going to convince her otherwise. And she didn't do the chin-ups. And it's sad that something so simple as that, which I was prepared to help her overcome, she had such a fear of falling that she didn't want to do it. I'll do anything else but chin-ups. Something so simple that 99% of people go, well, yeah, I'll give it a go. That's no big deal. What am I going to fall? I'm going to land on my feet and I'm going to stand on the ground. No big deal. But for this particular person, the fear of falling scared her to the point where she didn't want to do it. I spoke to a gentleman today, another client of mine, who suffers a bit of anxiety, has a few issues with focus and drive, had a few issues with a previous business that he started that didn't go the way he wanted. And I was saying to him, you give me any excuse why you can't achieve your goal, and I will tell you why you can. Like Henry Ford's famous quote, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that is the basis of overcoming fear. You must believe in yourself. You must take that first step. Now, this gentleman didn't want to take the first step because he had so many bad experiences and he was so worried about what his parents would think or what everyone else would think that he didn't want to change. And change is scary. There's no doubt about it, but it can be overcome. But someone like, I think Will Smith said this, or Eric Thomas said this, famous quote, he goes, I think it was Will Smith, he said it, on the other side of fear is success. But if you don't ever face your fear head on, you're never, ever going to experience the success. If the first time when you were a baby, when you were a toddler and you got up and walked and you fell and you said to yourself, nah, that's it. I'm not going to try anymore. Walking's not for me. I'm not going to do it. You'd never be where you are now. And everybody, other than if they've got a disability or something, everybody can walk. Why is that not fearful anymore? What is it about show rides or amusement park rides that are so scary for some people and exciting for others. Some people, I remember when I was 15, I had the worst experience of my life. And this is an example for me and how I overcome fear. I was 15 and, I wanted to impress my mates, and we went on, I don't know if you guys remember this ride, the pirate ship. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to sit at the back. I'm going to love it. I absolutely shat myself. And I thought, that's it. I'm never going to go on a show ride again. It took 10 years before I went on a show ride. And it was when I got married, when I was 25, and my wife and I went to Queensland for our honeymoon. And we went to, one of the worlds. I can't remember which one it was. And they had the pirate ship. And I remember Lucy said to me, how you feeling? And I wasn't a fearful person, but as soon as I saw this pirate ship, I thought, you know what? I had the sweaty palms again. I had the butterflies in the stomach, and I could have chosen not to go on that ride. But you know what I did? I said to myself, Tony, here's your moment. This is your opportunity to face your fear head on. Overcome that fear of falling, overcome that fear of heights. Get on the pirate ship. So you know what I did? Not only did I get on the pirate ship, I overcome that fear. I sat at the back in exactly the same spot that I sat before. And again, I had the same feelings, the same nervous reactions. But once I started going, I started feeling more comfortable. And I kept talking to myself, just like the famous book that Dr. Susan Jeffers wrote, Face the Fear and Do It Anyway. There's a statement she says in that book called, I'll handle it. What's the worst that's going to happen? If you can handle the worst thing and you can deal with that, then everything else is fine. So I thought to myself, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to fly out of this show ride and I'm going to die. Now I'm thinking about, then I talked myself, looked at the other side of it, the positive side of it, which was, but hold on a minute. They designed these rides to be safe. So there's no way that I'm going to fall out of this ride because millions and millions of people have been on this ride and none of them have fallen. Now, millions and millions of people drive their car every day, and people aren't scared of having a car accident every time they get in a car, or aren't scared about falling out of a plane just because they fly. And people do it. So why should I be scared going on this amusement ride? So I overcome the fear to the point where at the end, I was lifting my arms in the air and doing it without holding on. And I enjoyed that ride so much that I said to my wife, Lucy, we are going on every single ride in this amusement park. And every single thing we went on, I enjoyed it. And that's how I overcame my fear. Now, I know for some of you, your fear is greater than that. But whatever it is, it can be overcome. But the only way you can overcome that fear is to face it head on. Don't run from the fear because it will catch up with you. The fear will catch up. If you're scared of starting a career or a job or changing careers or relationships or starting a business or whatever the fear is, a fear of heights, whatever it is, if it's fear of failure because you don't want to lose weight because you've had a bad relationship and your previous partner dumped you because you were overweight. So you don't want to lose weight because you're scared that if you do, you're going to become attractive to someone else and then they're going to dump you. If you have that fear, you need to face that fear head on. Head on. It's the only way you're going to overcome it. Don't skirt from it. Face it head on. Overcome it, but take small steps. That's how you got to overcome it. Like I said, fearful. You want to be full of fear? Do you want to live your life running? Do you want to be the role model for your children by avoiding things, being scared? Even the statement of be careful is putting fear into your children's minds. It's already instilling that the world is a mean, dark, scary place. Where if you say the words, have fun, you instill a different mindset into your child's life. But you can do the same thing for yourself. Instill a positive mindset into your mind. Set the mindset of I can do this. Don't say, I'll try, because that gives you an out. Say, I can, I will, I must. I can, I will, I must. As soon as you say that statement, you change from a fearful mindset to a fearless mindset. Now, I know how I would rather live. I would rather live my life fearlessly, where I take on anything, and there'll be times I'll fail. Failure is part of success. For every failure, every success, there's a number of failures ahead of it. But if you never fail, if you fear failure, you'll never try anything. You'll never get out of that comfort zone of yours, and you'll never change. And you only get one go at this life. You only get one go of the merry-go-round. You need to make every second of your life count. So, there's two forces in the world. There's fear and love. If you live your life full of fear, you can't possibly live in your life full of love. You think you're living your life full of love, but you're not, because the back of your mind is always fearful. So if you need to say to your partner, your husband, your wife, I love you, your children, I love you, do it. If you need to overcome a fear by saying, I'm going to learn how to love this thing that I hate, that I'm fearful of, do it. Because what it does, it opens up many, many doors for you and opportunities and things that you've never, ever experienced before, because you're too scared to take that next step. So, I'll pose this challenge to you. Take the first thing, take the smallest thing. If you've got many fears, take the first thing that you fear, that you know you can overcome. Something small. Like I just said, if it's a fear of heights, grab a ladder, grab a step, climb a set of stairs, get to a balcony, walk to the edge of the railing and look over the balcony. Just say, do something small that helps you get out of your comfort zone and open the opportunity of being fearless. Eric Thomas, who's a motivational speaker, which I love listening to, he makes an analogy between a gazelle and a lion. And I absolutely love the way he explains this. He says, the gazelle and the lion live in the jungle. They both get up every morning exactly the same way. The difference is this. The gazelle gets up every morning, and the first thing the gazelle does is looks around and is fearful of there being lions. And its first objective is to forget everything and run. Its objective every time it wakes up in the morning is to avoid the lion, is to run away from its fear. It fears the lion. Now, the gazelle possibly could run faster than the lion. It could outrun the lion, but it's still scared that the lion is going to catch it. On the other hand, the lion wakes up every morning fearlessly. It knows it needs to hunt that gazelle. It knows in order to survive, it needs to capture that gazelle. It has no other alternative but to go after the gazelle. So if I was the lion and I was looking at my own life, I could live like the gazelle and say, well, I'll just go through the motions of life day by day, same job, same relationship, same this, same that, blah, 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 and live my life fearlessly. Or I could get up every morning like a lion and live my life fearlessly and tackle anything that comes my way. Just like Tony Robbins says, and most of you know that I'm a massive fan of Tony Robbins. When you get out of bed in the morning, do you want to be a coward or do you want to be a hero? Every morning I wake up at 3 a.m. and that's the first thing that pops in my head. What do I want to be today? Do I want to be a hero or do I want to be a coward? Do I want to be a gazelle or do I want to be a lion? And I just jump out of bed, turn the alarm off and get on with my day. And that's what I ask you to do. Get on with your day by being fearless. Decrease the fear in your life. Increase that fearlessness, that drive, that motivation, that energy, that power. Use positive affirmations, if you will. Use meditation to change your mindset. If you need to see us, if you need that motivation from us, this is why we've created these platforms now to help you take that next step, to take the next level. And we can help you. We can hold your hand and help you move from a position of fear to a position of love. We want you to love your life so much that you inspire other people. Our vision at this company, Better Than Ever, is to change people's lives forever. And that starts with you. That starts with you. You got to make the decision. You got to take that step. But once you cross that start line, which is our front entrance, the game's on. We are living like lions, and we're going to conquer whatever that fear is that you have. And we'll do it through exercise, which will release endorphins. We'll do it through positive affirmations. We'll do it through meditation. We'll do it through changing the way you eat. We'll change your life forever. And you could be like some of our Better Than Ever family members, a Better Than Ever ambassador, and live the best version of yourself. We want you to be better than ever. We want you to look good, feel great. As we always say, results start here. Everybody deserves to be better than ever.